Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This week we are going to be making the Stella tea by Jasmine Holyland. I'm so sorry if that's not how you pronounce it. I don't know how to pronounce names. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. I am not going to be making this a tea. I'm going to be trying to make this a sweater. As I don't currently have yarn for a t-shirt in this, but I would also really love this as a sweater instead. So I'm going to be using West Yorkshire Spinners Bluefaced Leicester DK yarn. This pattern recommends worsted, I think. Yeah, worsted. And I have my gauge watch from my Day sweater, which is the yarn that I originally bought this yarn for, which is this one. This is my gauge watch from that. Using 4mm needles, I do have extra stitches because this is supposed to be worsted. I'm using DK. Gauge for the Stella tee is 16 stitches. Mine is 22, but since I do want this as a sweater, that's just going to mean I have more positive ease than recommended, which is fine for me since I'm making this a sweater. If you do want to make this a tee, it does recommend 2 centimeters of positive ease. I am sizing up to an 87, which, looking at my measurements, which I have written down, is 8 centimeters of positive ease without, that's my table, without the extra stitches. So I'm going to be making a size 3, which is, I have 3 of these. If I was just doing the tee, I would only need like 2 and a bit. Since I'm adding sleeves, that gives me about 200 meters of yarn to work with for the sleeves. But I'm fine with a crop sweater if I have to. I will be doing the sleeves first, just to make sure that I have enough. I'll be using, I have 2 color options that I'm thinking about. This is the same yarn, but in the color ecru. I know I have enough of this. This is like half, just over half a hank of yarn. So this is like 50 something grams. I only require like 40. I think this is like 60 or something. I only require 40 for size 3. So this would work. But I also have some Morris & Sons Empire in soft white. I don't know how well you can see the color difference. Like that you can. It's very slightly different. So I don't know which one I'd prefer. I'm thinking the soft white, since it's more of a white and not a cream. Hold on. I prefer how the soft white looks with the grey instead of the ecru. I have 2 and a bit skeins of this. I only need like 1. I wouldn't even need a full one, so most likely it will use up the scrap and a bit of that, so that's fine. And that donut has just fallen apart. Awesome. Lovely. Anyway, so this tee has a rolled collar. It has like a little bit of stockinette that makes like a rolled edge, and then the collar. I will not be doing the rolled edge, as personally I don't like how that looks. So I'm not going to do that. And in this yarn, this is quite itchy on my neck anyway, so I feel like having a rolled edge for me wouldn't work. So I'm not even going to bother trying that. So yeah, no rolled edge. I'm just going to go straight into the collar. And yeah, I guess that's everything I need to say. Yes. I will be using my 4mm needles for this because that is what it recommends. So that is what we will be doing. Okay, so this pattern doesn't go down in needle size for ribbing, but I will be. My smallest for my interchangeables are a 3.5, so to not make it too different from the actual pattern, I would just be using those. Half a needle size is fine. I think I would do a 1x1 rib instead of a 2x2, just because I don't like how that looks. I say that I don't. It's so weird finding the right ribbing for different styles of things. Like a 2x2 would work on a tee, but if I'm making this a sweater, I think I would prefer. I think I'm going to do a 1x1 twisted rib, which is what this is, because I think that would look nice. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, size C, 4mm, 3.5mm needles to cast on, and then move to a 4. No rolled collar, and a 1x1 rib. I will try my best to put everything I changed in my Ravelry project for this, which will be in the description below, as well as a link to the free pattern. Let's get started. it is the next day. The past clip you would have seen, in one clip I was wearing the same shirt as when I started this video. And the second clip was me wearing this. I had some sort of reaction to one of the tops I was wearing, so I had to change. I don't know what it was. The shirt's the same as plenty of other shirts that I've worn and wear, so I don't know what the reaction was, but I know it is a specific shirt because it has happened before. It comes out of nowhere. I don't know what it is. I can wear it for hours and then all of a sudden it just starts getting really itchy to wear. I don't know what it is, but it's fine. So it's now the next day. I am still working on the yoke. This was the small little leftovers that I had of one skein. I decided to use that first to get it out of the way. I have just rolled up another skein that we are about to start, and we're just gonna get into it. I did twisted 1x1 rib for the collar. I did one row of normal rib and then 8 rows of twisted rib to get the length that I liked for the collar. And then I just went straight into the next section of the pattern, which is the yoke. Once again, I am doing size 3, because that does still seem to be a decent size. And that is where we're currently on. If you're not new to my channel, you know that this yarn was originally going to be a second grey Harriet sweater, or a second Harriet sweater but in grey. I didn't have enough for the pattern, so I was going to rework it and make an even smaller size than what's in the pattern. I couldn't be bothered doing that, as you can tell, because it's now being a Stella tee. But I do still want to make a grey Harriet sometime, just with a different yarn, most likely, and not one that's $25 per skein. But yeah, that's the update. Yeah, that's the update. I'm now working on the body of the sweater. So the colour work is done. I really love how that turned out. I still have this much left over of this scrap, the scrap skein of yarn. I need to measure this to work out how much of that I ended up using. I'm still in the first full skein of the grey. So I should definitely have enough for the sweater, because there's still like this much of the first one, which is around half, I believe. Okay, so things that I changed for the yoke. I did 5 rows of stockinette after the yoke. In the pattern for size 3 it says to do 2. I did 5 because I wasn't quite at the underarm. I wasn't quite at the underarms yet, so I just added 3 extra rows. And then I also added, instead of there's a certain number of stitches that you add underneath the underarms for size 3. For my fit, I decided to go with the largest number to add on. I know it's a free pattern, but I don't want to say the exact number. But I went with size 16 add-on for the underarms, which, by the way, this pattern has 16 sizes, which is incredible. This goes up to a 60-inch bust, which it's not as much as I thought it was going to be, actually. But I believe that is the basic sizes for bust circumference, like plus size bust circumference. And I did say basic sizes, so don't come for me for that, because that it could probably be a little bit better, but you know, because I feel like 60 isn't a lot. Especially not when I'm like 37, 31. I guess that's double me, but that's not a lot. Anyway, there is, since this is a tee, there is shaping for the waist and hips. I'm not doing that because I'm making this a sweater, but I do want to make this a t-shirt eventually, so I will be keeping that in mind. I'm probably just gonna freehand the sleeves myself. There is shaping for the sleeves, for like a sleeve cap. I might do that still, because why not? I've never done that for sleeves before, so I could at least try it out, see how it does. So I will be doing that, but all of the other shaping I won't. So from here it's pretty straight on, especially since working in the round. I will still be doing my usual, once I finish this skein on the body, switching to the sleeves and then coming back to the body, just in case, because you never know. Yeah, that's the update. Let's get to Body Island. update I gave was me trying on my sweater for the sleeves. That was 2 days ago. I finished the sleeve. I did, for my sleeves, I did 78 rows before I started decreasing. That put me just over my elbow, and then I decreased 2 stitches on either side of the round 5 times, and then did an extra 5 rows before I went into the cuff, which was 1 row of 1 by 1 rib, and then 14 rows of twisted rib for the cuffs. I did an Italian bind off, as that is the preferred look that I like for my sleeves. But that's what I did for the sleeves. I have not picked up stitches for the second sleeve yet, as I've had 2 bowling tournaments this week. One yesterday was 3 games, and today, which we've just got home from, was 8 games. My hips are fucking sore. Downside of having arthritis is that it hurts. Who would have thought? But it's currently 4:20 p.m. We had to leave at like 6:30 this morning. Sorry if my screen just went weird. If the video just went weird. My battery is low. Shocker. So I need to make this quick. We woke up at like 6. We had to leave at 6:30. It's now 4:20. I've been home for like an hour. But I've played my game. We're now going to pick up stitches and work on the second sleeve. I still have this much of the second skein from which I started at the first sleeve. So we should be good for yarn to make this a full-sized, full-length, not cropped sweater. Let's pick up stitches for this sleeve. It's the next day. It's night time. It's not the usual time I give updates, but it's been a busy day. So this is what we get. First things first, the sweater. I've been working on the body today, as I have finished both sleeves. That's the progress that I've made today. I'm currently at a point where I think I need to try it on to see if it's time to start the ribbing, as this is how much I've got left of the last skein of yarn, which I'm starting to think would be a great time to start the ribbing. So I need to try it on. I need to put my extra cable on and try it on and see what to do. But second thing I want to talk about is a yarn haul, because I got a spotlight ad for a specific yarn and I kept thinking about it and I bought it. So first things first, the bag is so freaking cute. It's little different flowers and plants, and it's adorable. I love it. I'm so glad Spotlight finally has more designs for their bags. The one that my Spotlight had constantly is a black heritage bag. It has photos of all the old photos of Spotlight stores on it. I think I have like 3 or 4 of those because I forget to bring bags. Hence why I had to buy this bag. But I'm glad they finally have more designs. There was also another one that was either Greece or Italy themed, like a beach holiday location theme. Not my style, but still cute. So definitely glad that they're getting more designs back in. Now, the yarn. This is, it's not Spotlight specific yarn, but it is being sold in Spotlight, obviously. It is from Panda Bliss 10 ply. It is a 61% cotton, 39% acrylic yarn. This is 100 grams for 200 meters. And it's a chainette style yarn, or like a bloom yarn, I think. Let's see. I don't think it's going to focus, but you can sort of see the effect. It's really pretty. I have used a similar yarn for this before. I've made a scarf. I made like 2 scarves with it. It's in my basket of scarves. It's underneath stuff, so I'm not getting it out to show you. But I do really like this style of yarn. And this is gorgeous. This is yay, numbers and not a colour. Awesome. I think it had colours on the website on Spotlight, but on here this is colour 645107. Am I seeing a colour name anywhere else? No. Okay. My computer's currently off, so I can't look it up either. So, but it's it's slightly variegated gradient, variegated black and grey. I really like it. And then I bought 7 of these. I will show you the other colour that I got. I got 7 in the black and 1 in this cream beige colorway. This is colour number 645100. And it's like a cream, peachy, pinky colorway. I bought one of that. Hold on, my nose is running because it's really fucking cold. I'm so sorry. But I also really love how this looks. Maybe I'll just see it a bit better with this one. Not really. I think the black was easier to see. Okay. But my plan for these, all of the blacks were in one dye lot as well, by the way. And since I only bought one of these, I don't need to worry about dye lots. But my plan for these is to make or remake the folklore cardigan with the black as the main colour and this as the contrast colour. Which the contrast colour is only on the ribbing of everything, so it's not really needed too much, so I think I can get away with just one. Based off of how much I think I used for the original one. This is a slightly thinner yarn, as the first folklore cardigan that I made is too big, which I will also think be. Do I want to say this in this? Do I want to say this in this video? I think I might save talking about that for later because I have no idea how long this video is. I'm gonna be real. No. So I don't think I'm gonna talk about it in this video just to spare time. But yeah, really happy with this purchase. Each of these cakes is like 11. Each of these cakes is like $11 each in Australian. I don't know if $11 is a good price. But I mean, it is a cotton, which in Australia those tend to be slightly more expensive. For instance, a 50-gram skein of a fingering or a sport weight cotton is like $4.50, which is the same price as 100 grams acrylic. So I guess cotton is slightly more expensive here. So I guess 100 grams of this may be a good price for 11. And I do really like this style of yarn. And it is cheaper than Lion Brand and Karen Cakes. So maybe it's only like $7 cheaper, I believe. I think it's debatable whether or not this is a good price for $11, but altogether, 8 skeins, cakes, $88 plus $2 for the bag. But anyway, I think it was worth it because I do really like this yarn. I know from experience that I like it. But yeah, now I have to reorganize my yarn shelf. I love doing that so much. Anyway, I'm gonna do that and try this on. I guess I'll also include a clip of that, just so you guys can see where it's also at, and also so I can see it as well, I guess. But yeah, that's the update. I really love this bag so much. Okay, that's the update. Bye. We are done. This took 30 hours and 57 minutes to make, which mid-range for some of the sweaters that I do. I am left with 4 grams of yarn of this grey one, which very weird amount to be left of. I could have probably done a few more rows on the body, but I don't want to risk it, so 4 grams. I'm thinking maybe I can use it for a border of a bandana at some point, like a crochet bandana. I might be enough for it, but either way, I am counting this out of stash because 4 grams is not worth keeping in my stash. So, this took 338 grams of yarn, 318 of the grey, and 20 grams of the white. I'm left with, I believe, 9 grams of yarn in this skein, and I also have like 2 full white ones on my shelf that's just out of frame back there, but 20 grams. For the body, for the body ribbing, I just work my sweaters until they reach a length that I like, and then I do the ribbing, as I'm sure everyone else does. For the ribbing, I did the same as the cuffs, which was 1 row of normal 1x1 rib, and then 14 rows of twisted rib. Same for the cuffs, as I said. I am really happy with how it turned out. I really love the fit. This isn't blocked yet. I don't have time to wait for it to block. especially since it's freezing fucking cold here in Australia right now. It would take like a week to dry in this temperature. So I'm not going to worry about it for now. What else did I need to say? I said earlier that about the sizing, that 60 inches, 60 centimeters, Jesus. I will learn to speak one day. I swear. 60 inches of positive ease doesn't seem like a lot. I do know that that is quite a large range for plus sizes. It's just in my head that doesn't seem like a lot because I'm like 32 inches or something. 31. I'm 31 inches bust wise. So 60 being like two of me, in my head, it doesn't seem like a lot. And I know that's a me thing, not understanding that it can get, not understanding how I'm stupid. That's what I'm saying. 60 inches for a bust size is a lot. I just can't visualize it. That's what I was wanting to say earlier, but I didn't phrase it right earlier in the video. Anyway, I just wanted to clarify that just because I know that I can't visualize things properly, which means I shouldn't be talking about plus size things. I understand that I should not be talking about plus size things, especially since I still fit into children's clothing. I understand that. It just doesn't seem like a lot. I'm sure some people can understand that. What I'm trying to say. Anyway, is that everything? I said time, I said yarn usage, I clarified what I needed to say. Yes? Yes. Nope. That's not something that I need to say. And I also just immediately forgot what it was. Thanks for watching. Bye.